Hello, and welcome to another Today's Decay, where we celebrate births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time, because otherwise life is just another day after another day after another day, and we just celebrate what's handed to us. Forget that. Today, in 1830, Edward Muybridge was born. He's somebody who really moves me, and that's because he's the father of cinema, who experimented with photography in sequential order to, I believe the story, if I remember correctly, was to like win a bet of like, does a horse ever fully leave the ground, or is there always like one hoof on the floor? So he designed like a whole series of cameras to like capture movement, and in the process this is like sequential photography or whatever. I think I'm missing I'm not saying the right word here, but I think you get the point. Without Edward Muybridge, we would not have films. No moving pictures without Edward Muybridge, who is featured in the Museum of the Moving Image, and if you've never been, you should go, because it's great, and it's surrounded by delicious Greek restaurants. So, what's keeping you? That's my question. Maybe it's because you're well in the midst of celebrating Mans Lipscomb, who was born today in 1895, a Delta blues musician who was really from like an earlier era, I'd say, and survived into like the mid-century to be documented by the likes of Alan Lomax and others. Similarly to, say, like a Leadbelly, who was, in Leadbelly's case, was in prison for a while, and so when he got out of jail, he's almost like a time traveler from the past who like is just playing music the way he did decades earlier, even though like music has evolved. Mance is kind of similar in that he's just like so old that like this is living, breathing history, and it's wonderful to have him in like what was then the modern era, which is now also ancient history. Time just flies, right? We must be having fun. What else? Carl Perkins, born today, 1932. I love Carl Perkins. There's a great book called Go Cat Go, the Carl Perkins story, not to be confused with the other Go Cat Go book, which is just like listing various rockabilly musicians. This one's 100% Carl Perkins, 100% of the time, and it's what a tragic life. I think most of these guys led very tragic lives, but he in particular, his whole band were his family members or related to him in some form or another, and they like all died tragic deaths, and he wound up, obviously there's like the classic, he's on his way to the Ed Sullivan show driving with his band to go play Blue Suede Shoes, and they get into a car crash, and flips over. He winds up waking up in the hospital and sees Elvis performing his song on television, and it's like, that could have been me, but it wasn't. Sorry, Carl, no such luck. What else? He also got his fingers chopped off live on stage while playing, and like a rotary fan like went to go like take a bow, and like gone. And had to like relearn how to play guitar with less fingers. Yeah. And last, but certainly not least, 1953, the film Invaders from Mars premiered. Great movie. Phantom Creek Theater, our spook show horror host troupe, presented it one year, many years ago, in Coney Island, USA. That was when we were still doing film prints, 16mm film projectors and prints. And I remember that I had purchased the thing but didn't test it beforehand. That's a mistake. Always test it beforehand. Turned out that the person who sent it to me gave like multiple reels or like multiple versions of the film, and you can't just like rewind this stuff. So it was chaos. But people came back later for the next one, so I guess it wasn't so bad, right? Yeah. Anyway, that's it. April 9th, the whole damn day for you to enjoy. Till tomorrow. Bye.